South African words that shock Americans.
Americans call this a trunk. South Africans call it a boot. Americans would say, I'll pick you up. South Africans say, I'll fetch you. Americans call this a hood. South Africans call it a bonnet. Americans call this a traffic light. South Africans call it a robot. Americans call this aluminum. South Africans call it aluminium. Sounds so complex. Americans would say, I'm going to the liquor store. South Africans would say, I'm going to the bottle store. Americans would say a pickup truck. South Africans would say a bakkie. Americans would say, hi, how are you? South Africans would say, how's it? Americans would call this a barbecue. South Africans would call it a braai. Americans say, I'll be there soon. South Africans say, I'll be there now.